All right. Welcome back to Money Isn't Hard. My name's Corey, and I've got three finance stories you guys need to know about. We're going to start off in Vegas, then we'll move on to LinkedIn for doctors, which if you're not a physician, you probably haven't heard about this, but you never know. This might present a good investment opportunity. Now, remember, I'm not giving investment advice. I'm just providing you with information so you can make a decision for yourself. And then we're going to talk about FedEx and them, FedEx drops the ball is what I was going for. But, honestly, there are always two sides to a story. And I think FedEx may have made the right decision in what they did. But you know what? Let's jump right into it. This is a short video, so we don't have time to waste. All right. So Vegas is getting a new casino now. But to be honest with you guys, I lived in Las Vegas during the summers with my father and stepmother. And we went to the Strip occasionally, not very often, but, every time we did go, I lived there in the summers with them when I was out of school. And it always was a great adventure down to the Strip and seeing the new buildings being built, etc. In fact, there's one building being built. It's empty right now. And I remember it when it was just starting the project back in, I believe, early 2010. But there's another casino, one that was able to be built for a lot of money. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars. That is opening at the best time. A few months ago, had they opened, 6 months ago, I would say, oh, I feel bad for them. Wouldn't want to be those guys. But now they're opening up at probably the best time because everybody wants to travel. Everybody is ready to get out of the freaking house and move on. So this might be something to look at. And, Vegas may present some good investment opportunities. Now, when all the stocks crashed, you saw MGM, you saw the big Caesar's Palace, you saw all of the big casino stocks drop because all of a sudden they have no revenue coming in. But what we've seen over the last few months is their stock prices have taken off and recovered, just like a lot of other stocks. But I think there are still some stocks out there, some companies out there that you're going to see recover from the pandemic drop that you could make money from. Now, remember, I'm not telling you what to invest in, but hey, you never know. You might want to look at Vegas. Now, here's something I really like. We were waiting, optimistic that things would get better when we opened. But here we are at 100% capacity, and everything's going well in Las Vegas, and we're excited to be a part of that. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't know if you guys can see this picture very well, but if you can, I gotta tell you this. This is one good-looking casino. It's the newest casino or resort in the last decade. Good for them. Now, it is owned by a Malaysian-based company, so I'm not sure if you can actually invest. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can invest in this company right now, but you never know. They might IPO or they might be available to trade on international markets. This looks really good. It's a great-looking place. It's bringing jobs to Las Vegas, something they're always in need of. Everywhere is in need of jobs, but Vegas is always hurt pretty bad whenever there is a tourism shock. Now, there's one thing to know when it comes to Vegas is that there's always multiple casinos. There's always other options. And, one of the things that I like to say when you're looking at a business is you want to find a company to invest in that has a moat. And a moat is something that makes it hard for another company to entrench themselves or encroach. I'm sorry, not entrench, encroach on your market. And there's one company that I feel like is doing that really well. It's called Doximity. This is a company that is for physicians and doctors. That's really all that they work for. And I gotta say, I really like this company because it's going to be very hard for a new company to come in and do what they're doing at the quality they're doing it. Now, Doximity has 1.8 million physicians, doctors, surgeons on the platform, medical professionals, and the way they make money is through advertising, but they're starting to introduce other services like video conferencing with their patients, etc. And they're going to be able to build more revenue on top of it, but they built a platform for the medical field first. They got those doctors, those physicians in that ecosystem, and now they're building out that ecosystem layer by layer to offer more services. So let's get a little bit into this one. Doximity, I think is how you say it, has 1.8 million medical professionals. That's just in 10 years that they've been able to do that. Net income jumped 69% to 50.2 million. That's great. The latest fiscal year was 206.9 million, so they increased that by 50.2 over the previous year. They make money by promotions, recruiting, etc. But I have a feeling they're going to be introducing some other things as well. And why do I say that? Well, they're starting to introduce telehealth. Now, a lot of you during the pandemic, during even before, there was always these little services being offered where you could call a doctor on your mobile phone, right, and call a nurse or whatever. But now they're getting to the point where they can actually prescribe medicine through the phone. And by them adding this in and adding a paid enterprise version, they're getting more services entrenched in. Now, Doximity does have a few different services that they also offer along with that. One of the really cool things I saw was that you can actually transfer things from one doctor to another doctor. And that's what I want to bring up here. So you look at this and, 80% of doctors, 50% of all nurse practitioners and physician's assistants are on it. That is huge, guys. So let's look at the app. Make a video call, make a voice call, find experts. That's a big thing for them. CME, so that's your news, etc., and facts on the go. And I liked reading this one article is that they had to transfer a patient from one place to another. And in order to do that, they have to fax a medical record. But because both of those people were on the app, they were able to do it so much faster. Now, the moat that I'm talking about, it's that 1.8 million physicians. It's the 50% of nurse practitioners and physicians' assistants. Those are huge numbers. And I think it's going to be very difficult for companies to encroach on their turf. And I have a feeling that onion, they're going to keep layering on services to keep the doctors, keep the physicians in, and, keep them on growing and increase that revenue. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. $9.4 billion company. I would gander to say they might double that value as they add more services. Now, let's jump into FedEx. I told you guys earlier, at first glance, you think they dropped the ball, but at second glance, you have to ask yourself, was this the right call? And I got to tell you, I actually really do believe that this was the right call for them, because they understood that their business was under strain. And when your business is under strain, you have to take moves to keep the integrity for your core customers. And unfortunately, they had to drop customers in order to ensure that continuity for their core customers. So they suspended 1,400 customers. Now, the way they did it could have been better. Apparently, they didn't send notice. I find it difficult to believe that FedEx wouldn't send a notice, but apparently some people didn't get the notice. Here we go. We were notified the day that shipping ceased via a phone call from our rep, so they weren't notified. Day of though, that's not cool. They're going to lose as much as 5% of their annual sales. FedEx informed them that the company could resume shipments. In the end, the ordeal threw us into a panic mode and delayed one shipment. Now, FedEx says it was a temporary step that provided necessary volume relief, and that is key, right? You have to protect the integrity of your company, and sometimes that means stopping service or delaying product releases to keep your company operating. I've seen a lot of companies where they'll launch a marketing blitz. They'll get 1,000 orders in and say, oh yeah, but they don't realize that they keep that advertising blitz going and they keep up at that scale of sales they're not going to be able to support it on the back end. So you know what, FedEx, kudos to you. You knew that there was a problem coming. You took action to stop it so your system wouldn't overload. Could it have been done better? Everything can be done better in the world. Nobody is 100%, right all the time. So, look at that, guys, for what it's worth. I personally think FedEx is a great company. I also think Doximity is a really good company as well. So if you're looking for healthcare, I would highly encourage you to do a lot of research on this one. Now, like I said, money isn't hard. I enjoy doing this because, well, it's fun for me. I like reading and sharing what I read and find interesting. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And remember, like and subscribe. Money isn't hard. Appreciate you.